Right now, someone is thinking about you, not casually, not in passing. I mean the kind of thinking where your face is the last thing they see before they fall asleep and the first thought that hijacks their brain every single morning. And here is what is going to shake you. Their name starts with a very specific letter, and by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which one. But more importantly, you are going to understand why they have not told you yet. And trust me, that reason, it is not what you think. So before you scroll away, let me tell you something that genuinely rattled me when I first came across it. According to research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, nearly 70% of people who are deeply attracted to someone never actually confess it. 70%. That means right now, statistically speaking, there is a very real chance that someone in your life is carrying feelings for you so heavy they can barely breathe around you. And you have absolutely no idea. You have probably sat next to this person. You have probably laughed with them. You might have even complained to them about being single while they were sitting right there, dying a little inside. And here is the part that honestly makes me want to grab you by the shoulders. The universe has been dropping hints about this person everywhere. In conversations you brushed off, in coincidences you called random, in moments you forgot 5 minutes later, but that kept this person awake for weeks. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Oh, here we go. Another vague love prediction. No, that is not what this is. What I have put together today is a breakdown of specific letters, specific behavioral patterns, and specific signs that the universe uses when someone's love for you has reached a tipping point. And the reason I structured it this way is because by the time we reach the letter connected to your situation, something inside you is going to click so hard you might actually gasp out loud. But I need to warn you about something first. Some of you are going to hear a letter and immediately know who it is. And when that happens, your instinct is going to be to pause the video and go text that person. Do not do that yet. Because there is a critical piece of information coming toward the end of this video that will completely change how you approach this situation. If you act too soon without hearing it, you could accidentally push this person further away. So stay with me. Every single second of this matters. Before we get to the letters, we need to address the elephant doing backflips in the room. If someone loves you, why on earth would they keep it a secret? Well, a psychologist named Dr. Helen Fisher, who has spent over 30 years studying the neuroscience of love at Rutgers University, found something fascinating. When someone falls in love, the brain releases a cocktail of dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin that essentially mimics the chemical profile of someone with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Read that again. Being in love literally makes your brain function like it is stuck in an obsessive loop. And what do people with obsessive thoughts do? They overthink, they catastrophize, they convince themselves that the worst possible outcome is the most likely one. So this person who is in love with you, they have rehearsed confessing to you approximately 467 times in the shower. They have typed out messages to you and deleted every single one. They have asked their friends for advice so many times that their friends are genuinely exhausted. But every time they get close to telling you, that obsessive brain kicks in and whispers, what if they do not feel the same way? What if you ruin everything? What if you lose them completely? And honestly, that fear is not irrational. A study from the University of Toronto found that the fear of rejection activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. So for this person, the idea of confessing and being turned down feels, neurologically speaking, like being punched, repeatedly, in the heart. So they stay quiet. They love you from a distance that is close enough to hurt, but far enough to feel safe. Now, let us talk about letters. If the person in love with you has a name starting with M, here is what you need to know. This person is a protector. They show love not through grand declarations, but through quiet acts of service. They are the one who remembers something you mentioned 3 weeks ago and casually brings it up like it is no big deal. Oh, you said you liked that band, so I got you tickets. Meanwhile, they spent 2 hours comparing seat options to make sure you had the best view. M names tend to mask their feelings behind humor and casual behavior, so you might have mistaken their affection for simple friendliness. You would be wrong. Dead wrong. Oh, J. This is the letter of the silent admirer. Someone whose name starts with J has probably been in love with you longer than you realize. And here is the thing about J names. They are incredibly loyal, but terrifyingly patient. They will wait, and wait, and wait some more. They figure that eventually the universe will create the perfect moment for them to say something. The problem is, they keep waiting for a moment that does not require any courage, and that moment does not exist. If you have a J in your life who always seems to be available when you need them, who always responds to your messages just a little too quickly, who always finds reasons to be around you, that is not coincidence. That is devotion wearing a disguise. Is the letter of the person who has probably already hinted at their feelings, but did it so smoothly that it flew right over your head. Names are bold in almost every area of life except the one that matters most to them, you. They might flirt with you and then immediately act like they were joking. They might compliment you and then change the subject so fast you get whiplash. This hot and cold behavior is not them playing games. It is them testing the water with one toe while being terrified of the entire ocean. Now, S is interesting, and I need you to pay close attention here because S names are the ones most likely to be hiding in plain sight. This person is probably already in your inner circle. They might be someone you consider a close friend, a coworker, or someone you interact with regularly. The way an S shows love is through consistency. They do not have dramatic moments of affection. Instead, they just show up. Every single time. Rain or shine. Good day or terrible day. They are there. And that consistency is so reliable that you have probably started taking it for granted. You should not. Because the moment an S finally decides to pull away, the absence is going to hit you like a freight train, and you are going to realize what was standing right in front of you the entire time. Our names carry a fire that they spend most of their energy trying to control around you. This person feels things intensely, and being near you turns that intensity up to a volume that frankly scares them. An R in love will sometimes seem distant or distracted, and that is because they are using every ounce of willpower not to stare at you, not to say something too revealing, not to accidentally let their guard down. If an R has ever gotten unusually quiet around you while being loud and animated around everyone else, that is your sign. Their silence around you is not disinterest. It is overwhelm. D is the letter of someone who shows love through challenge and growth. This person might push you, question you, even debate with you, not because they want to argue, but because they respect your mind so much that they cannot help engaging with it. A D in love will remember your goals and check in on your progress. They will celebrate your wins harder than anyone else in the room. And when you are struggling, they will not just offer sympathy. They will offer solutions. Because to a D, loving someone means helping them become the strongest version of themselves. If someone with a D name has ever looked at you during a conversation like you just said the most brilliant thing they have ever heard, yeah, that was not casual admiration, that was someone falling. K names are the sneaky ones. And I say that with the deepest respect and a little bit of amusement because a K in love is genuinely hilarious to watch from the outside. They will go out of their way to do something incredibly thoughtful for you and then act completely unbothered about it. Oh, I just happened to be near that bakery you love, so I grabbed your favorite pastry. No big deal. It is a very big deal. They drove 20 minutes out of their way for that pastry. K names express love through action because words feel too vulnerable. So if you are waiting for a K to verbally confess, you might be waiting a while, but if you look at their actions, really look, the confession has been happening every single day. T is the letter that honestly broke my heart a little while researching this. T names tend to fall in love with people they believe are out of their league. Not because they have low self-esteem, but because they hold the people they love in such impossibly high regard that they genuinely cannot fathom being chosen back. A T in love will support you publicly and ache for you privately. They will hype you up to everyone, talk about how amazing you are, advocate for you in rooms you are not even in, and then go home and convince themselves they are not good enough to tell you how they feel. If a T comes to mind right now, you need to understand something. They are not waiting for the right moment. They are waiting for permission to believe they deserve you. Now, beyond the letters, the universe has a way of confirming when someone's love for you has reached critical mass. And these confirmations are not subtle anymore. You might have been seeing repeated numbers, 1111, 222, 333, popping up on clocks, receipts, license plates. According to numerologists, these sequences often appear when a major energetic shift in your love life is approaching. You might have been having vivid dreams about someone specific, dreams that feel more like memories than imagination. You might have been hearing a certain name more frequently than usual in songs, in conversations, on screens. That repetition is not random. Energy has patterns, and when someone is directing an enormous amount of emotional energy toward you, the universe starts echoing it back in ways you cannot ignore, unless you choose to. Here's another sign that honestly gives me chills. If you have been feeling a sudden, unexplained pull toward someone, a random urge to text them, a thought about them that comes out of nowhere in the middle of your Tuesday afternoon, that is often a sign of energetic reciprocity. Psychologist Dr. Dean Radin at the Institute of Noetic Sciences has published peer-reviewed research suggesting that human consciousness can connect in ways that transcend physical proximity. In simpler terms, when someone is thinking about you intensely, you can sometimes feel it. That random warmth in your chest, that sudden smile for no reason, that inexplicable sense that someone out there cares about you. Your body is picking up on a signal your mind has not decoded yet. So now you have a letter. You probably have a face attached to it. And your palms might be a little sweaty right now. Here is the critical piece I told you to wait for. Do not chase. Confirm. The biggest mistake people make when they realize someone might have feelings for them is they either confront the person head-on, which triggers that rejection fear response I mentioned earlier and causes them to deny everything, or they start acting differently around the person, which creates an awkward energy shift that makes everything weird. Instead, do something subtle but powerful. Create space. The next time you are around this person, give them a moment of genuine, undivided attention. Not performative, not forced, just be fully present with them. Ask them something personal but not invasive. Something like, "What has been on your mind lately?" And then actually listen, not to respond, to understand. Because what a person in love needs before they can confess is not a grand gesture. It is safety. They need to feel that being vulnerable with you will not destroy them. And you can offer that safety without saying a single word about what you now know. Watch what happens next. Watch how their walls start cracking. Watch how their eyes change when they realize you are actually seeing them. That is the moment everything shifts. Here is what I know for certain after putting all of this together. Love is not always loud. Sometimes it is sitting quietly next to you, hoping you will notice. Sometimes it is a name that starts with a letter you were not expecting. And sometimes the only thing standing between you and the kind of love that changes your entire life is the willingness to pay attention to what has been right in front of you all along. Now, the fact that you watched this entire video tells me something important about you. You are not someone who takes love lightly. You are someone who wants to understand it, recognize it, and honor it when it shows up. And that kind of emotional intelligence is rare. So here is what I want you to do. Not for me, but for yourself. Drop the first letter that came to your mind in the comments. Just the letter. Nothing else. No explanation needed. Because here is what is going to happen. Someone else watching this video right now is going to see your letter and realize they are that person for someone. And you might scroll through those comments and see a letter that confirms everything you just felt. That exchange, that silent recognition between strangers, that is the universe working in real time. And since you are clearly someone who understands the subtle language of attraction, you absolutely need to watch this next video on your screen right now. It is called Signs That a Married Woman is Into You, and I am not putting it there as a casual recommendation. I am putting it there because it reveals the exact hidden behavioral signals people use when they are attracted to someone but cannot openly say it, which is precisely the situation we just spent this entire video talking about. The signs in that video are going to make everything you just learned click on an even deeper level. And honestly, some of those signs are going to shock you because you have probably already experienced them without realizing what they meant. Tap it now before the algorithm buries it. I will see you there.